like they would all celebrate.
And it's unfortunate, just
Crazy,
like how they
right?
celebrate abortion. Did you know that women on birth control don't want to be mothers?
Really?
That's been proven. Now, I saw an article a couple weeks ago about how when you are on birth control, your desire for motherhood and actually wanting to have a child is not as prevalent.
Wow. That would explain a lot, because our generation's not having kids. Okay, guys, Morgonn McMichael back on the show. We're at Student Action Summit, Turning Point USA contributor. It's been a fun event so far.
It has. A busy event. It's hot outside, but I am so excited to be here. I mean, thousands of students are here, adults from across the country, and it's pretty awesome to see you this summer.
Yeah, this is needed, because when I was in college, I had no guidance. I was just in a liberal institution, getting
being
brainwashed.
canceled and brainwashed for being a conservative.
Yeah.
And thank goodness that Charlie Kirk exists with Turning Point USA. I mean, I know I'm super thankful for events like this. I got involved actually 5 years ago. And so coming to this event now as a contributor, being able to commentate Gen Z culture and politics is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, well, I was so brainwashed, I was liberal.
You were liberal.
Yeah, I grew up.
What made you change your mind?
Grew up in Jersey. I would say Trump's 16 run is when I started like slowly changing.
Same. I was in high school.
Yeah.
2016.
And getting out of Jersey probably helped.
That helps.
Jersey's a very liberal state.
Really, I was living in Bay Area in California.
Oh, that's
grew
even worse.
up. I mean, I was in like the belly of the beast, Silicon Valley, California, where my high school gov teacher graded down my papers when I used Fox News versus CNN or MSNBC, because apparently Fox News wasn't the truth at the time. So that was funny. 2016 election, though. I feel like that was really the turning point for a lot of Gen Zers, millennials, seeing how just polarizing that election was.
I see what you did with Turning Point.
No pun intended.
Yeah. And you were in a sorority too, right?
I was. Canceled in my sorority, almost kicked out when I was in college.
Jeez.
And that kind of led me to Turning Point, actually, was because when I was in college, I went to a Turning Point USA event, and that's kind of what kickstarted me into this entire conservative movement. And I realized that my voice was so necessary, especially for young women. There were not a lot of female commentators other than, Tomi Lahren, Megyn Kelly, but other than a couple of voices that were kind of on the big scene, there weren't a lot of young Gen Z voices in 2020 leading up to 2024 election. More have come now, but I just saw such a necessity for young girls to have somebody that was speaking the truth and not just being an influencer.
That's so true, because I think a lot of young female votes cater to the left, right?
Yeah,
on average.
100%. I mean, still today.
Right.
And I think a large part of the feminist movement, a lot of the lies that are told to women through feminism, this fourth wave isn't what we saw with getting the right to vote. And it's really unfortunate how much young women have been lied to. And I think that social media and changing the culture is where we change women's minds.
Yeah. Were you a feminist back then?
A little bit. I won't say I was a full feminist. I was never like super pro-abortion. I was never like super feministy, but I definitely had a little feminist in me. And what's so unfortunate is the biggest part was going to college, going to a corporate job, sitting in a desk, and that being more fulfilling than getting married, staying at home, and being a mother.
Yeah.
And it really makes me sad when I see women in their 30s that feel like they're more fulfilled sitting under fluorescent lighting for 8 hours a day because they've never actually been told it's okay to just embrace your femininity and be a woman. Like, you don't have to compete with men for the rest of your life. And that's something what I'm super excited to be in the future. I'm getting married in a month, and
Congrats.
I couldn't be more excited for this next season of my life.
Yeah, I'm getting married in 3 months, and my girl just keeps the house
That's
amazing, and we got a great relationship.
Isn't it great when men and women can actually fulfill the roles that they were inherently God-given? What a concept.
Nuts. And that whole trad wife thing, that blew up.
Blew up. And I will say one thing about the trad wife phenomenon, because I've gotten hate about that of like, well, you're a female, you're engaged, you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you are about to be a wife, yet you're over here working and posting content. And the one thing I will say to that is that you have different priorities. Your priorities change when you get married. Your priorities shift when you have a job versus having kids. And women nowadays, instead of actually embracing their roles of being a mother, and it's okay to have hobbies, it's okay to like go on a podcast every now and then. Going on a podcast, posting on social media isn't me neglecting my future children.
Right.
You are still able to have hobbies. Like, mothers and wives have very necessary jobs. And no, that's not sitting at a desk 8 hours a day. If you do have a full-time job and you are a mother, yes, you are being selfish and you are neglecting your children, and you are not putting them before yourself.
Wow. The one counter argument that I kind of agree with, because it is hard to like live these days, is one income household is pretty hard to pull off.
It is.
So I could see that
But
argument.
I want to.
All right, guys, Sean Kelly here, host of the Digital Social Hour podcast. Just filmed 33 amazing episodes at Student Action Summit. Shout out to Code Health, sponsor of these episodes, but also I took them before filming each day. Felt amazing. Just filmed 20 episodes straight, and I'm not even tired, honestly. So Code Health, amazing products. I also take these at home, especially when I traveled. I used to get sick every time I flew, and I started taking that. First time, I haven't had a runny nose, knock on wood. One standout element, it's so easy. You got the travel pack here, but you could just take this, fit it in your pocket if you need to. Also, all natural, like only saline solution in there. So you don't got to worry about any crazy side effects or anything. Yeah, Code's unique. With supplements, there's a lot of who knows what's in those ingredients. Code Health, I haven't seen much like this, where it's just based off the codes that are in the saline solutions. So I would say they're very unique. It's going to be the future of health and medicine. Code Health has been awesome.
Feel the drop and go code yourself.
Push back on the dual income household versus single income household. I think we have an identity crisis in our nation right now of entitlement, where people feel the need to have luxury items. They need to drive the brand new car. They have to live in a 2-story, 4,000 square foot home, when in reality, it is possible to live on a single income. You have to make those sacrifices for your children. You can be a stay-at-home mom, because when you break down the cost of how much it costs to have full-time childcare if you're going to work, you're spending close to $30,000-$40,000 a year to put your kids in daycare.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
when you break down how much it actually is costing for you to have a job, to have dual income, like the cost benefit of you being a stay-at-home mom, I think outweighs how much money you would be, I guess, having with your second income. Of course, every family is different, but I think we have this problem in our country where people feel the need to have it all and not make as many sacrifices. And instead of sacrificing your job and actually being active parenting in your children's lives every single day, you're sacrificing them so that you can have this quote unquote better lifestyle. But is it actually a better lifestyle if your children are being put at a disadvantage by you not being at the home with them every day?
Yeah, because there's a lot of trauma when your parents aren't around.
It is.
On the kid.
And that's statistics. Like that is truth telling, that if your mom is at home with you every single day and your fundamental age is growing up, you are set up for a better path of life. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. You could be a very impoverished family, but if your mom stays at home with you and loves you, you're already set up for, I think, more success than somebody who has money but has an absent parent on both sides.
Absolutely. Would you ever go back on the Whatever podcast?
I've been asked that a lot. I've enjoyed my time on the Whatever podcast. I've been on, I think, 4 times now. And the last time I went on was an 8-hour show. So that was a little brutal. But I respect Brian with what he does. And I do think there are a lot of necessary viral clips and conversations that happen. I'm not opposed to going back on. But I don't think I'd be able to do 8 hours again.
8 hours is nuts.
8 hours was a long time.
He invited me on. Plus, you got to drive an hour.
Right.
It's far,
That's why
right?
I flew out. It's in Santa Barbara, so I had to fly out, get a hotel room. So I think maybe in the future I might go back on. We might do some fun debates. There's a lot of, I think, valuable conversations to be had that come from it.
Yeah, he's definitely put feminists in their him and what's that one guy that goes on a lot?
Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, Andrew Wilson.
He's gone on, and Andrew's wife I know has gone on a lot, and they do a lot of the debating on there.
They seem to have a good relationship, honestly.
They do. They're married. Like, I respect their relationship, and it seems like they're bringing a lot of light to the bad culture that is out there, and I think if there's one positive thing that does come from the Whatever podcast, which I do feel like I've been able to add, is you have to add light to the darkness.
Right. Are you against the hookup culture?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, same.
100%. Hookup culture, I think, is something that has destroyed Gen Z. The notion that you can sleep with whoever you want with zero consequences. I think this is why also abortion has become such a huge issue in our country, is that you can have a sacred act, you can do a sacred act with zero repercussions, and then have this abortion. It's like there needs to be accountability.
Right.
And I do think that it is detrimental not just to women, but also men. It is why I think our birth rate is down. I think it's why our marriage rates are down, because it has fundamentally destroyed women and men in our generation.
Do you think there's any situations for abortions to be acceptable?
My personal opinion, no.
Wow.
And I know that's controversial. I am pro-life from conception to natural death. And I think that when we see abortion now, it is being used for, I mean, just...
The Tri-Light from Therisage is no joke. Medical grade red and near infrared light with 3 frequencies per light, deep healing, real results, and totally portable. It's legit. Photo biomodulation tech in a flexible on-body panel. This is the Tri-Light from Therisage, and it's next level red light therapy. It's got 118 high-powered polychromatic lights, each delivering 3 healing frequencies, red and near infrared, from 580 to 980 nanometers. Optimal penetration, enhanced energy, skin rejuvenation, pain relief, better performance, quicker recovery, and so much more. Therisage has been leading the game for over 25 years, and this panel is FDA listed and USB powered. Ultra soft and flexible and ultra portable. On-body red light therapy I use daily, and I take it everywhere I travel. This is the Thera O3 ozone module from Therisage. It's a portable ozone and negative ion therapy in one. It boosts oxygen, clears and sanitizes the air, and even helps your mood. It's a total game changer at home or on the go. This little device is the Thera O3 ozone module by Therisage, and it's one of my favorite wellness tools. In the sauna, it boosts ozone absorption through your skin up to 10 times. Oxygenating your blood and supporting deep detox. Outside the sauna, it purifies the air, killing germs, bacteria, viruses, and mold, and it improves mood and sleep with negative ion therapy. It's compact, rechargeable, and perfect for travel, planes, offices, hotel rooms, you name it. It's like carrying clean energy wherever you go. This is a Thera H2 Go from Therisage, the only bottle with molecular hydrogen structured water and red light in one. It hydrates, energizes, and detoxes water upgraded. The Thera H2 Go from Therisage isn't just a water bottle. It's next level hydration. It infuses your water with molecular hydrogen, one of the most powerful antioxidants out there. That means less oxidative stress, more energy, and faster recovery. But here's what makes it stand out. It's the only bottle that also structures your water and adds red light to supercharge it. It's sleek, portable, and honestly, I don't go anywhere without it.
It's being used not what it's intended. I mean, it's intended to obviously end a life. And so personally, no, I am completely anti-abortion. From a legislative perspective, though, I can understand why we have these heartbeat bills, and that is something that I do fully support.
Yeah.
Legislatively, and I think that the left could agree with this, and I think this is something that I would love to see happen in the future. Every single state have a heartbeat bill, like with exceptions of incest and with exceptions of sexual rape. Because if you have those exceptions in there and you say, okay, let's say 8 weeks, we'll cushion a little bit more. We won't do 6 weeks, we'll do 8 weeks. I personally believe that is still a human being, that is a life. Conception, science proves that. But if you know you are pregnant 8 weeks, we would save millions of lives in this country.
That'd be a lot of lives.
A lot of lives.
Mason the Climber, shout out to him.
Yeah.
You know who that is? Mason
Yeah.
Yeah, so he showed me some late-term abortion photos. That shit messed me up, honestly.
It's horrific. And you know what? I wish that when you are in public school, sex ed, they teach. You know that sex ed comes from Planned Parenthood.
Really?
In
It's a
America,
class?
public schools are their sexual education is coming directly from Planned Parenthood. And you want to know what they do not show? They show a birth video, but they do not show an abortion video.
Right.
And I think that if a abortion video was actually shown, mandatory in class, hey, this is what an abortion is, and actually saying it is ending a life. This is what you are choosing to do, and showing what that looks like. I think there would be a lot more pro-life people in this country.
100%. I think if people actually saw it,
right,
they would definitely change.
And that's what happens is Planned Parenthood doesn't do an ultrasound. They don't actually, they want to take away the fact that it's a life. That's why they say the lies. It's a clump of cells. It doesn't matter. You're making this choice for you. No, you are ending the life of a completely different human being that is not you. And you never actually get to meet that person. You never get to hear their heartbeat when you go in for an abortion. And I think it is detrimental to women.
Right. What do you think of Planned Parenthood getting defunded?
Fantastic. I don't think federal tax dollars should have ever been going towards that organization. Did you know that pregnancy resource centers outnumber abortion centers? Planned Parenthood, wow. 3 to 1. And why isn't that talked about more? Why aren't the pregnancy resources that are available to young women talked about more than abortion being an opportunity? And it honestly breaks my heart, because I think that every single life is valuable and is worth living, because you never know what that person is going to be created to be. We live in America. We don't live in this caste system. You could be born into poverty and end up being one of the wealthiest people in this country. And that is something that is so sacred and special about America, is the opportunity that we have. And so when you look at an organization like Parenthood, which was founded by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenist,
Right.
it is astronomical to me that the feminist movement has been able to.
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.
Warp that into being pro-woman. And so thank goodness that they have been defunded, because they do not need $1 of taxpayer dollars.
They did phenomenal programming with that, and also birth control.
Birth control, which has harmed women.
Very much so.
I mean, birth control chemically changes women's brains, who they're attracted to, your cycles. And I think that's something that also women have been lied to, is that you can just take birth control, one pill solves all your problems, when in reality that one pill will cause all of your problems.
I remember when I was in high school and college, girls would look forward to getting on the pill. Like, they would all celebrate.
And it's unfortunate, just
Crazy,
like how they
right?
celebrate abortion. Did you know that women on birth control don't want to be mothers?
Really?
That's been proven. Now, I saw an article a couple weeks ago about how when you are on birth control, your desire for motherhood and actually wanting to have a child is not as prevalent.
Wow. That would explain a lot, because our generation's not having kids.
Well, and that kind of, to me, goes back to marriage rates and birth rates, right? When you look at birth control, if it is chemically altering your hormones and altering who you are designed to be, to where you're just completely dewiring yourself.
Right.
And it changes who you're attracted to, right? Or if you get on it when you are married and you're not having children, it's a no-brainer to me.
So do you think birth control should be banned?
I don't think it should be banned, but I don't think it should be free. And I think that it needs to be informed consent. That when a woman is prescribed birth control, if you want that birth control, you need to know that your increase for anxiety of depression skyrockets, that you could be suicidal, that you will gain weight, you can get acne and probably will, and that these side effects are not going to be able to be fixed. Guess how many, there are thousands of women that are on birth control and on some kind of SSRI. They're on anxiety and depression meds because, and guess what? The anxiety and depression is caused by the birth control. But the pharmaceutical companies are never held reliable for those side effects. And it's unfortunate that these women go in for minor periods, they go in for minor anxiety, they go in for pain, management of hormones. But birth control is not helping regulate your cycle. It is completely dewiring and irregulating your cycle. And I think that we are in a chronic illness. We are in a gut health issue in our country, where instead of people actually finding out what is wrong, they're just being prescribed this pill, and unfortunately it's hurting them.
A lot of infertility issues right now.
A lot of infertility, and why is no one asking, hey, maybe birth control might be causing your infertility?
Yeah, I think it definitely might
because
be.
Because it is. It 100% is.
You see the Candace vs. 20 Feminists video?
I did.
What do you think of that?
So good. Candace is a phenomenal debater. She knows her facts, and especially when it comes to these women's issues, I couldn't think of someone better to debate them, and I'm a big fan of the Jubilee videos, and I think these feminists honestly need to hear the truth. It's raw, honest truth. Get off your birth control, start eating whole foods, and I guarantee you'll be a lot happier of a person.
Yeah, I thought she crushed it, because she used to be a feminist, so she could speak from experience,
right?
And now she sees what people are crazy. I can't believe some of the girls on those videos. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and I would be willing to bet that most of those girls are on birth control.
Yeah, probably.
Mood swings, your irritability, your anxiety, your depression, your infertility. I would be willing to bet that the majority of quote unquote women's health issues does stem from birth control.
That's a good comeback if I'm ever debating a feminist.
Yeah. Are you on birth control?
Yeah.
They might. So it's kind of like, are you on your period? They might get offended, but.
Facts over feelings.
Facts over feelings, it's true.
You tweeted out you're not a fan of WIC, SNAP, and EBT.
Oh.
That's a hot take, right?
That's a hot take. Listen, it's not that I'm not a fan. I do think that it is necessary for some Americans. Some Americans do need that kind of government assistance. This is really controversial, especially because a lot of the WIC, SNAP, EBT cards are being taken away or decreased after this bill was just passed in the House and the Senate. Trump signed it, the big, beautiful bill. And what I have to say is that the abuse of the system is what I'm not a fan of, is that there are countless, thousands of families and individuals who have been on these cards and are getting thousands of dollars of government assistance every single month, and it's not free. It is taxpayer funded.
Right.
And what does that say to the millions of hardworking Americans who maybe do live under the poverty line, but they are working 8, 12 hours a day so that they can actually provide for their family and they have that grit. Section 8 housing, same, is not forever. That is so that you can work hard and get off your feet so that you can be a productive member of our society. So the biggest controversy I have is, A, they're given a lot of money and for too long. Second of all, there are no restrictions on the food. Well, there are some restrictions. Let me rephrase that. There are some restrictions on the food that you can purchase, and you can get whole foods. You can buy meat, you can buy vegetables, but unfortunately, a lot of these families are taking advantage of the system and only using the processed foods. And I want to compare this to also Medicaid, because a lot of these families are also on Medicaid for their government assistance. So they're buying over-processed foods, they're eating unhealthy, and then at the same time, they're also having to be prescribed medication for diabetes. They have to go to the hospital more often. They have chronic illness. And that, I think, is what is horrible to see in our country, is the abuse of the system. And my question is why on an EBT card can you buy soda? Why can you buy sugary cereal? Why can you buy over-processed foods? Because we have seen time and time again, it is not more expensive to eat whole foods.
Right.
You can buy ground chicken, you can buy ground turkey, you can buy steaks, but it's an education problem in our country,
Yeah.
and I think that there just needs to be reform, which I know is happening, but it's the abuse of the system. Like, you shouldn't be buying hundreds of dollars worth of processed foods and creating more obesity in this country. If you were living on government assistance, then you need to have education and actually be, I think, eating a little bit healthier and be working to get off of those cards. The system isn't designed for you to live on it forever.
More obesity and more money towards big pharma too.
Yep.
They become a never-ending customer
It's
at
a
that
cycle.
point.
Government assistance, big pharma, big food.
Yeah, they're all working together, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they get started on medications for their whole life at that
Their whole
point.
life. I mean, you are literally hooked on pharma for the rest of your life. Every single month, get your prescription.
Yeah. I was not a fan of the new COVID vaccine that just passed. Did you see
Me
that?
neither. I'm not a fan
I
of
was
that.
surprised that came out of...
I was surprised too.
I'd love to see their side of it. I'll
Yeah.
give them time to explain it, but...
I'll see the facts. I want to look at it. I'm not a fan, the mRNA. I think it's just not great. I don't think any of the vaccines, honestly, should be mandatory.
Yeah, hell no.
Like, and the fact that even like when you go to a hospital, if you don't give some of the vaccinations to your newborn baby, hospitals threaten child protective services.
They cause a scene.
They cause a scene. They try and threaten you and gaslight you into thinking you're a bad mother or a father if you're not wanting to vaccinate your child. And I think that's honestly like criminal.
Yeah, they try to guilt you. I've
Guilt
had
trip you.
recent friends that have had babies and they won't let you leave at certain hospitals.
They literally tell you cannot leave this hospital unless you give this child a vitamin K shot.
And more shots.
And more shots.
Yeah.
And the vaccine schedule is not the same it used to be. I mean, informed consent. You are the parent. The government is not your kid's parent, and we need to continue to push back. I mean, it's a little tyrannical.
Yeah. Morgan, where are you going next? Where can people find you? Keep up with you?
All over the place. We're all over the internet. If you can spell my name, you can find me, Morgonn. We're having a good time here at the Student Action Summit, and I'm just excited, honestly, wedding in a month.
Congrats.
And
Honeymoon.
all the content from there on out. It's going to be fun.
Stay tuned, guys. Check her out. See you next time.